Hi everybody, solving paper 1, version 3, November 23. Here is 6 balls and 2 wooden blocks. The edge here at 38, the edge here at 62. I will use these edges to find the total length and divide it by 6. Train on straight track. Y maybe the velocity. It is moving with constant speed or distance, but it should be stationary if y is the distance, because we cannot have the distance at fixed value when the train is moving, because distance increases. Mass times g on Mars. Mass on Moon is that on Earth or in every or anywhere. Density of a regularly shaped solid. Measuring center, we take the increase in reading, not the reading after, because we subtract reading after from reading before. So we need the increase in reading, and from balance it is the mass, not the weight certainly. Okay, to be in an equilibrium, we will choose A, because here the moment from this force and from that force are in the same direction, so there is no equilibrium here, and here the forces are upward and there is no balance with the force downward. Okay, if we say that weight of the uh, the uniform rod, we cannot be certain that this will cause an equilibrium. Okay, and we have also moment here in same direction from this force and this force, and we have unbalanced forces here. One might say that there is unbalanced forces here, but this is not true because we have a reaction force as the pivot. Okay. Moment of force Y has no relation with that of X or with the equating moment from X and Y. It is only Y times the perpendicular distance to the pivot. Least gravitational potential energy will be at the least height from Earth, which is this position, and the most or max elastic energy is in max stretching, which is this position 2. Renewable energy from biofuel, not from fossil fuel, from tides, from geothermal, from hydroelectric, from light from sun, but not from nuclear fluid, because it is used up and no replacement, exactly like the fossil. But there is something confusing for many students, that fossil fuel differs from nuclear energy in its effect on the environment, because fossil fuel produces carbon products, but nuclear fuel has no carbon emissions. The nuclear fuel is certainly dangerous because of the radioactive waste. 900 watt means 900 joules per second, because nail exerts large pressure because it has small cross-sectional area. As the bottle is heated by sun, we have heat, thermal energy transferred to the air particles, so temperature increases, average speed increases, but the distance between particles stays the same. It only increases when the volume increases. PV relation when T is constant is this graph Boyle relation. As a block is heated to the dimensions with length and height increases, volume increases. As solid is melting, temperature doesn't increase, it remains constant, but there is an input of energy that is used in overcoming the bonds between the particles. Air movement will be for the cool air, whose warm air has only movement upwards, okay? And upward is not like away, because away means it moves from or in the bottom, and this is not correct with respect to the warm air, which has less density and rises up. So the only right thing is and cool and toward the heat. Waves travels through vacuum, not all waves, only electromagnetic travel at same speed, not necessarily seismic wave longitudinal. No, this is the seismic B wave, not the seismic S wave. Seismic S wave are transfers, so waves transfer energy, not matter. Amplitude is B, wavelength is S. Inverted bridge, if it is upright, we will have the red at the bottom and violet at the top, but as it is inverted, we will have a violet at top and red at bottom. Okay. Angle of reflection is angle between the normal and the reflected ray. Here is a 55, so here is 55. Top of the object, we follow the rays and we find that at C, gamma ray, X-ray, ultraviolet, visible, infrared, micro, and radio. So it is here. As sound reflects, frequency stays the same because the source is the same, speed stays the same because there is no change in medium. So the only one that changes is the amplitude, and it is lower. There is an attenuation. Iron is a magnetic material affected by magnets. Ammeter here measures current in the whole circuit and in the resistance, and also here, but here it will measure a small, very small current, which is the current passing in the ammeter. Ammeter has a very low resistance, so it's not in the resistor, so we'll choose 1 and 2 only. Large concentration of free electrons is in metals, so silver and gold, not nylon, not water, not glass. Um, which of these rods can be used to have a static charge on it when rubbing with cotton clothes? Cannot be a metallic rod like copper or steel because charges will flow through the rod, so it must be insulator like glass or plastic. In series, total resistance will be greater than 3 and in parallel will be less than 2. Greater than the greater in series and less than the less in parallel. So we wanted to protect the heater, so the fuse is chosen based on the value of current passes through the heater. We can choose 4, cannot choose 4 because it will break the circuit before the uh, wanted current reaches the value wanted here. 20 will be too much and also 40, so it is only 10. How to increase EMF? By increasing the number of coil. Placing magnets balls apart will be decreasing the EMF because field strength decreases. Made from steel wire, it's not perfect conductor, so it will resist the current, the induced current. Reversing magnets will reverse the direction. Okay, we change the direction of magnetic force here, changing the current. Transformer used for changing direct current alternating, no. Changing magnitude of alternating voltage, yes. Relative charge, proton, neutron 0 and electron -1. Carbon 14 have a half-life of 5,700 years. If we have an interval of 11,400 years, how will the count rate decreases? So this represents 2 half-time time intervals. So during the first one, 100 will be dropped to half, which is 50, and during the second one to fourth, 1 over 4 from its division, 25% of its value, so it will be 25. If we look here is the first 25, 50, 75, and here is 100, so this is the value that we expect count rate to reach, okay, after 2 half-lives, so the point is D. Nucleus changes from one element to another only when alpha emission and beta emission. Alpha decreases protons by 2, neutrons by 2, and beta decreases neutron by 1 and increases protons by 1. Okay, gamma has no effect on the constituents of the nucleus, so it stays the same nuclei. Will not reduce total radiation, keeping distance between source and scientists as large as possible. This reduces temperature has no effect. 24 hours is the time of Earth to make a complete rotation on its axis. Remember, Earth orbits the Sun in 1 year, 365, and Moon orbits the Earth in nearly a month. As the Sun is about 4 light years away from Earth, so light from a star takes about 4 years to reach the Earth. It is not to go to Earth and back, and this doesn't mean to have a star on 4 light years away from us, doesn't mean that this star is necessarily out of our galaxy. It is certainly in our galaxy. So it means only that it takes 4 years for the light to reach us from the sun. Okay. Most common element in sun and most common radiation. Okay. It is hydrogen and infrared.